Hello, and welcome to the Charlene Larsen Center for the Performing Arts. We've been waiting for you to come. I know it's been difficult this past year, but we've done everything to keep you safe. We have touchless fixtures throughout the building. We have entertainment to present to you virtually. And we welcome you back to the corner of 16th and Franklin in Astoria, Oregon for music and entertainment for the future and for now. Virtually now, in the future, live. So welcome and come on in.
Hi there, I'm Ketchum, a member of the board of the Partners for the PAC, the nonprofit group supporting the Charlene Larsen Center for the Performing Arts, aka the PAC. Like all performing venues across the world, we have been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past several months, we have invited a number of performers from our area to share their music with us on this stage, with only a videographer and a sound and lights guy as audience, out of concern for the safety of our performers and our techie crew. I was lucky to be part of this venture and have very much enjoyed listening to these mini concerts as they were recorded. It is our hope that these delightful mini concerts will whet your appetite for live music and encourage you to help us support live music in our community. These artists may be seen on our stage later this year as the pandemic lightens up and we can open safely to the public. For now, we ask you to help us financially by going to our website, partnersforthepac.org, and clicking on the donate button. Our mini concerts range from well-known groups in our area to lesser-known individual performers. Keep coming back to virtual Larsen Center arts performances in the coming months, and we hope you'll keep coming back when we reopen physically later in the year. So turn up the volume, sit back and enjoy, and then sit back up and hit the donate button. We appreciate your support. I'd like to introduce to you now the duo Perspicuity with local singers Joanne Rideout and Jerry Middaugh.
Hi, I'm Joanne Rideout. This is Jerry Middaugh. We are Perspicuity, and we're doing this video in support of the Charlene Larsen Center for the Performing Arts in Astoria, Oregon. And we're happy to be part of this project, and we're going to sing some folk music for you, and we hope you enjoy it.
When midnight calls, good people homeward tread. Seek now your blankets and your feather bed. Home is the rover, his journey over. Yield up the nighttime to old John of Dreams. Yield up the nighttime to old John of Dreams. Across the hill the sun has gone astray. Tomorrow's cares are many dreams away. The stars are flying, your candles dying. Yield up the darkness to old John of Dreams. Yield up the darkness to old John of Dreams. Both man and master in the night are one. All things are equal when the day is done. The prince, the plowman, the slave, the free man, all find their comfort in old John of Dreams. All find their comfort in old John of Dreams. Now as you sleep, the dreams come winging clear. The hawks of morning cannot harm you here. The sleep is a river, float on forever. And for your boatman choose old John of Dreams. And for your boatman choose old John of Dreams.
Was called John of Dreams. That's a lullaby.
We're going to change up here a little bit. We have a two-part harmony song. They're all two-part harmony songs, but this one is explicitly a two-part harmony song.
It's called Harmony.
Harmony, the sweetest part of a melody. It makes two people sing as one, a simple song like you and me. On its own, it's incomplete and it's not the same, like open spaces without a frame. If you weren't here, is how I'd be. We're not two shooting stars that light the night and disappear. We know just who we are when morning comes to wake us up. We'll still be here. Harmony, the sweetest part of a melody. It makes two people sing as one, a simple song like you and me. We're not two shooting stars that light the night and disappear. We know just who we are when morning comes to wake us up. We'll still be here. Harmony, the sweetest part of a melody. It makes two people sing as one, a simple song like you and me. Okay. And now we have a Joanne song here.
Well, this song, I really like this song. It's an Ann Hills song called Follow That Road. And it reminds me of a time early in our relationship when Jerry lived in Seattle and I lived in Brownsmead, a very rural area around here. And he would come to visit me. He came to visit me a lot. And I was always really happy to see him follow that road to my house. If you're coming in the summer, you'd be better to split off on 35. There's the Starlight Drive-In movie on your left, just beyond the county line. Just after that you'll see two silos, one is silver, one is blue. About a quarter mile further, make a left onto Highway 42. Then follow that road, cornfields as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me. If you're driving by in autumn, you should follow up the river to Bear Lake. That's the time to see the colors, and there's an old covered bridge you'll want to take. Late at night, be careful, just be sure to watch for deer out on the road. And if it's early in the morning, sometimes it gets foggy, take it slow. But follow that road, sugar maples far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me. If you get the notion in December to drop by for just a day, there's that tiny little road that no one knows about. It's safe to go that way. It's up between two fields, so the sunlight melts the ice by afternoon. You'll see two houses by the fields. Someone's always there, if not they'll be back soon. But follow that road, snow drifts as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me. You remember in the springtime how the puddles look like pieces of the sky, falling down by the roadside to delight any stranger passing by. The softness of the grass on Raven Hill, where we counted stars all night. You must know how much I miss you, and that any way you get here is all right. But follow that road, wildfires as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me. Follow that road.
Well, we don't want to take away from the live performance aspects of this, so we mess up the words every now and then.
Yep. We're starting to refer to this as the Sisyphus project because we've tried so many times to do this video, but we're hoping. We got high hopes for this try. This next song is called The Miner's Lullaby, and it is it started out as a poem by Utah Phillips, and it was set to music by Jody Stecker and
Kate Brislin.
And it came from a story that Utah Phillips tells about how he was kind of mucking around in a dump in Park City, Utah, and found a little metal tin with a belt clip on it. And he found out eventually by asking around, talked to a historian who said that these were tins that miners carried on their belts when they went into the mines, and they had morphine in them in case they were trapped. They could end their own lives rather than just dying in a cave-in or something else that they would never be able to get out of. So he wrote this, and it's sung from the perspective of the wife of a miner about her husband going down into the mines with morphine. And this was a thing that people didn't want to talk about because many of the miners were Catholic. Families were Catholic, and suicide was a sin. So this was a little-known fact about mining that Utah Phillips discovered when he found that little tin. It's called the Miner's Lullaby. Once long ago, he was handsome and tall, and fit to be called to the war. We left our village, family and all, to never return anymore. Now he takes his coat, his bucket and lamp, and whistles away to the cage, where men young and old from all over the camp gather in search of a wage.
Husband sweet, lay your head back and dream, a slow falling leaf borne down to the stream, then carried away on the wings of morphine, homeward far over the sea.
My husband and I are Roman in faith, and we have a secret to keep. If ever his life should be taken away, then gentle and long will he sleep. Now some men pass with family around, with linens and blankets so clean, but seldom a miner goes underground without his tin of morphine.
Husband sweet, lay your head back and dream, a slow falling leaf borne down to the stream, then carried away on the wings of morphine, homeward far over the sea.
Now there is word an explosion was heard. The miners are trapped far below. If any survive down there alive, I'm certain we never will know. And though our families have vainly appealed, no rescue attempt can be seen. All hope for our loved ones in the dark earth sealed now lies in a tin of morphine.
Husband sweet, lay your head back and dream, a slow falling leaf borne down to the stream, then carried away on the wings of morphine, homeward far over the sea. Homeward far over the sea. Yeah, these mining operations have always been pretty brutal affairs sometimes. They're very, very dangerous stuff. And,
Yeah, Yeah, Mayan cave-ins were really frequent. Oh, this next song, I love this. Keweenaw Light.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it the Keweenaw Light?
This is the Keweenaw Light.
So this is about a lighthouse on the upper peninsula of Michigan, on a little peninsula called the Keweenaw Peninsula.
Yeah, a little peninsula above
Lake
the
Superior.
upper peninsula. Looks like a hitchhiker's thumb, that's what they call it.
It's a really beautiful song.
Let me take a swig of water here before we do this. Just on the outside chance that I need it. This song was written by Craig Johnson, who used to be a fiddler. He's gone now, but he was a fiddle player for the double-decker string band in Washington, D.C. Good songwriter. Well, I've traveled this country from the Keweenaw headlands, where the wild gulls do cry, from the rocks to the sea, from the cold inland ocean to the Manitou Island, far away from my home, strange places to see. And the stars they shine bright on the south shore tonight, and the Keweenaw light sweeps over the bay. And if dreams could come true, I'd still be there with you on the banks of cold waters at the close of the day. And I've drifted through the boom towns of a century dying, past the ruins of the smelters, the rusted head frames, down through Mohawk and Ami, Centennial and Laurium, and 100 sad places that have passed without names. And the stars they shine bright on the south shore tonight, and the Keweenaw light sweeps over the bay. And if dreams could come true, I'd still be there with you on the banks of cold waters at the close of the day. And I've counted the cross ties, the dry bones of the railroad. They stretch from the sunrise to the close of the day. And I've counted the miles between me and my true love, the lies and the highways that have carried me away. And the stars they shine bright on the south shore tonight, and the Keweenaw light sweeps over the bay. And if dreams could come true, I'd still be there with you on the banks of cold waters at the close of the day. Well, now the leaves have turned gold and the summer's nigh over, and the wild geese sweep low over Lake Manganese. In this faraway country where you walk by slow rivers, longside of cold waters, neath the shimmering trees. And the stars they shine bright on the south shore tonight, and the Keweenaw light sweeps over the bay. And if dreams could come true, I'd still be there with you on the banks of cold waters at the close of the day. That was the Keweenaw Light.
This next song is an Irish song. It's called As the Evening Declines, and it's there's a couple of words in it that are probably unfamiliar. In this case, the word wattle means a cane, and I think that's the rest of it you can sort of figure out. I think it's
a very old poem that was set to music recently.
I am old, very old, but I don't need a wattle. I'm old, yes I'm old, but I'm not a dry nettle. All I need is a man who is high in his mettle. Glory, oh, glory, glory, when the evening declines. Glory, oh, glory, glory, as the evening declines. Now before the black hunger, I'd husbands in plenty. Maybe your granddad was one of the many, or was he that redcoat who swigged more than any? Glory, oh, glory, glory, when the evening declines. Glory, oh, glory, glory, as the evening declines. You can have all your gold, the high king of all metals. With soft talk and kisses, we'll never want better. And the west of the ditch is the best of all settles. Glory, oh, glory, glory, when the evening declines. Glory, oh, glory, glory, as the evening declines. I am old, very old, but I don't need a wattle. I'm old, yes I'm old, but I'm not a dry nettle. So you clout the pot, and I'll clout the kettle. Glory, oh, glory, glory, when the evening declines. Glory, oh, glory, glory, as the evening declines.
We're going to finish this out with an Irish song. This is called As I Leave Behind Nadine. And in this case, Nadine is a small village in Ireland. And this is written by a guy on his way home from a gig there. As I leave behind Nadine, it's like purple splashed on green. My soul is strangely fed through the winding hills ahead. She plays a melody on the wind and streams for me. Won't you remember? Won't you remember? Won't you remember me? Won't you remember? Won't you remember? Won't you remember me? We wind and climb and fall like the greatest waltz of all. Float across the floor, her sweet breath outside the door, and it's time that I must go. Cross the silver tier. Won't you remember? Won't you remember? Won't you remember me? Won't you remember? Won't you remember? Won't you remember me? As I leave behind Nadine in the hall where we have been, rhododendrons in her hair. In the mountain scented air, I still hear her spirit song. Across the silver tier, won't you remember, won't you remember, won't you remember me? Won't you remember, won't you remember, won't you remember me? As I leave behind Nadine. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.